that we are all here together at Leadership 2022. And the worst part is, it's almost over. Well, over the last couple of years, I have reevaluated the meaningfulness of coming together. I couldn't believe it when my cousin Tony, a doctor in California, predicted in January of 2021 that it would be safe to have our family reunion last summer. He had been pretty dire about the dangers of the pandemic prior to that, but with the combination of testing, vaccine availability, and other mitigation efforts, he was right, and the reunion actually happened. It was probably the best family seminar, as we call it, that we've ever had, and it left an enduring impact on all of us about the power of gathering together again in person. And I can sense that this conference will have the same effect on you, my extended marykay family, as it did on the relatives of Marykay Ash last summer. I sincerely believe that us gathering together, the leaders of Marykay, and celebrating our accomplishments from this unprecedented period will rejuvenate us, re-energize us, and reignite us to achieve goals we couldn't have thought possible before this moment. Well, I don't think I need to tell you that our lives since the pandemic hit have been altered in ways we could have never imagined. As for my little family of three, it was a heck of a ride. In March of 2020, we were scheduled to go on a family vacation during my daughter's spring break. Just days before our scheduled departure, I'm sure like many of you, we made a change of plans. Rather than travel outside of our state, we made the decision that it would be safer and still fun to drive down to my mother's ranch. Now, unfortunately, in January of 2020, the ranch house had been struck by lightning and burned to the ground. But we still had a 40-year-old double-wide trailer we could use, and figured it would be fun to hang out there for, I don't know, a week or two. I packed a carry-on size suitcase with just a few changes of clothes for what I thought would be a 10-day trip to the ranch. I didn't have any idea we would be hiding out down there for 75 days. The first few weeks were pretty stressful. I had conference calls with the Marykay executive team, sometimes multiple times per day, just trying to find ways to keep our business open around the world. Well, trust me, I didn't have a lot of value. But I'll tell you, our supply chain heroes in manufacturing and distribution, they figured it out. Eventually, they settled into a stable state and ultimately kept the business running pretty smoothly for you, our only customer, our Marykay independent beauty consultants. Malia, Emily, and I, we made the best of our ranch life. We came together closer as a family and ultimately made memories that will last a lifetime. Well, I am so very proud of all of you for enduring through these difficult times as well. We all had to find new and creative ways to get our work done. And I've heard countless stories of Salesforce leaders like you adapting to this new environment, finding new ways to get things done. And in many instances, adapting to a change that you later discovered was just a better way to do things, no matter what. The pandemic made your business more relevant than ever. COVID-19 shutdowns sent us from record-breaking low levels of unemployment to record-breaking job losses in just a matter of weeks. All of a sudden, having an opportunity to make money from anywhere, setting your own hours, and being an entrepreneur were on the front of almost everyone's mind. And then, just a few short months later, those same traits became the hallmark of everyone's work. So, what sets us apart when everyone seemingly has more flexibility in the way they earn their income? Well, the answer is, and really has always been, our values and our culture. This is what made marykay so far ahead of her time. Finding ways to maintain balanced priorities in your life was never more important. Or as marykay liked to say, God first, family second, and career third. The go-give spirit was quickly in focus when we as a company, and you as leaders in your community, found ways to help each other get through a very scary situation. Perhaps the best example may be the speed in which we developed and you helped us to distribute an emergency use hand sanitizer formula to first-line heroes in our hospitals and domestic violence shelters. The third example, the golden rule. It's always been central to how we conduct ourselves at marykay. And trying times make it more difficult for some to do the right thing, always. Well, it gives me great comfort to know that all of us as leaders are committed to doing what we would have others do unto us in every decision we make. And also, although sometimes difficult, we know it serves us best in the long run. And finally, make me feel important. Well, that's what so many people were yearning for, as many of us around the country endured months of isolation and loneliness. Well, these four premises are the foundation of our special and very unique marykay culture. They are the reasons we attract great people and why they tend to be fiercely loyal to marykay. The pressures this pandemic have put on all of us are causing millions and millions of people to reevaluate what they want out of their lives. It is also causing people to reevaluate what companies they want to be associated with. And consumers are actively seeking out companies that do the right thing as priority number one. Nathan likes to say, now is our time. Well, I couldn't agree more. Never before in my lifetime has the importance of a company's mission been more front of mind for consumers, and believe me, it is only going to be more so in the future. This is a huge opportunity for us and a huge opportunity for you. Well, I think eventually, almost everyone is going to be asked to return to the office in some capacity. And many, well, they aren't going to like that. To me, that sounds like a great time for someone to start a marykay business. I mentioned it before, and I want to mention it again. I am so proud of all of you for persevering and finding ways to adapt to change over the last 2 years. You know, this hasn't historically been one of our collective strengths. But the ways our world has changed have been, and I'm starting to sound like a broken record here, unprecedented. Well, my prediction is our world is going to continue to experience rapid and sometimes unpredictable change in the years to come. And if I could highlight one thing and one thing only that will determine your success in the future, and therefore all of our success, it will be your willingness to accept and adapt to change. But we all know how resilient our beloved Marykay Ash was when she faced obstacles in her way. And although we recently marked the 20th anniversary of her passing, I went back and found something she said in the mid-1990s on this very subject. She quoted Thomas Jefferson, who said, "In matters of principle, stand like a rock. In matters of taste, swim with the current." Well, Marykay herself went on to say, quote, "I agree. We live in a world where everything is subject to change. Everything that is, except one's principles." Well, I have to think in my mind the context of change she was dealing with in the mid-90s had to be all about the onset of the internet. I don't think that comes even close to what we're dealing with today. But I do know this. If she were with us here today, she would be open and willing to adapt to change as long as we held steadfast to our 4 main principles I mentioned before. And I promise you this, if you stay true to these principles, but adapt your strategies and practices to the changing world we live in, you will be able to achieve your goals. I recently heard on the radio a discussion where someone mentioned the only time they can remember using the word abundance was in the context of caution. Well, that's just not how we think around here. So let's take the energy and passion we have all felt over the last 3 days together again for the first time in 2 years and channel it with rejuvenated strength boldly into an uncertain future, knowing that we are on the right path, guided by the strongest of principles, and in this for the long haul. We know we can achieve our dreams, and we are determined to make our abundant goals a reality. And we know from our founder, Marykay Ash, we can do it. Thank you all. It's so great to be with you again. I hope you had a great leadership conference and a safe trip home. We love you.
Let's hear it again for Ryan Rogers.